Hello, this is James, and welcome to Early Access Spotlight Revisited, in which I take a look at a game in Early Access that I've done a video on previously and see how it's doing now. So, in this video I'm going to be talking about Landless, a game from CodeBullet. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video on this, I'll have it linked in the description. And I guess if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put an annotation. I don't know if YouTube allows them anymore, actually, but if they do, I'll have it there. And I recommend you do watch it if you want to know more what the game's about, because in this video I'll mainly be talking about what's changed and what's improved, and I'll assume you know about it already. So first off, you can definitely say these people work bloody hard on this game. For the last month at least, they've released update after update. It seems to be once every 1 to 3 days, and this game's been on Steam since the 11th of May. So what's the result of all this work? So first thing I noticed is there is a completely redone interface. I really like the new colour scheme of like orange and blue. It's a lot more appealing. It's generally a lot more tidy, with meters for the state of the boat in the top left and meters for yourself like thirst and hunger in the bottom right. So it's very clear what meter does what and where to look for them. The crafting menu has been redone. Categories are now tabbed, and instead of one long list, it's now tiled so you can see more on the screen at once. And processed materials like wood planks and metal frames are now at the top of the crafting list, which makes a lot more sense. So yeah, it's a lot more better than it was, and goodness me. It's a lot better than it was, and it's absolutely a breeze and a joy to navigate. Another improvement is that it automatically pauses when a tutorial message pops up. So while you're reading, you don't have to worry about hunger or thirst decreasing or being attacked or anything like that. One small problem is that tutorial messages appear behind other menus, which makes the tutorial messages unreadable, which is a problem, especially when they're telling you about crafting. But you can drag other menus out of the way, so it's not too much of a problem. Another problem that I had a big problem with last time is that it saves your hotbar when you quit and reload, so whatever you put in there stays there when you reload your save. So that's very cool. Another improvement is that there's more stuff in the first outpost. It used to be just a few wooden buildings with a merchant inside, but now it's like a small village. There are paths and people walking about, who I guess have been here a bit too long because they say some very strange things when you talk to them.
Hello. Hey.
And there are buildings for different purposes, like such as inns or taverns, and it's here that you buy the resources and food and water that you need. Okay, so on to the big one. Does the beacon respawn when you reload a save? Now, first of all, it's a lot easier. I think I only had one boat attack me before I destroyed it, whereas before you get absolutely swarmed. So yeah, I destroyed it, and afterwards I actually drove around for a bit, actually waited until the next day, in-game that is, saved and exited and reloaded, and it had respawned. So yeah, I had to destroy it again, and again I had the same amount of ammo as I had before I exited. So I destroyed the beacon again. This time I decided to go and play the game for a bit, because if I'm perfectly honest, last time I was so frustrated with the beacon thing that I didn't really give the rest of the game enough of a chance. So I went off sailing, driving, not really sure, and I noticed fuel was halfway empty, so I decided to get on that. So to create it, you need seaweed and wood scraps. I didn't have enough of either, and I quickly found that you can get seaweed by diving underwater, so that wasn't a problem. But wood scraps were harder to come by. And as I travelled, I found there were loot crates floating about that contains things like electronic, food, and other resources that you need. So I figured the wood scraps would be in one of them, and it was pretty fun. I mean, this is what survival games are all about, right? I'd given myself a mini objective of getting some fuel, and I was on the search for resources I need. So after a long time searching, I came across the jackpot. which was an abandoned outpost which had 2 enormous crates with lots of useful resources, including lots of biofuel itself, so didn't even need to craft it after all. So I refueled the boat, and after that I thought a good amount of time had passed, so I decided to save, exit and reload, and lo and behold, the beacon didn't respawn. So that's that issue solved. And so as far as I can see, everything I had a problem with is now gone, and I think it's a really fun game here. And in fact, if you're getting jaded with the survival genre and feel it's getting stale, this is the game you want to be looking at. And this is what excites me about fan funding games in development in general. You know, it's something new. The devs appear to be dedicated. As I said, they release an update every 1 to 3 days. And it's then unlikely that this would have come about any other way, as in it's been made possible because fan funding is possible. So, would I recommend supporting this? Absolutely. Now, it's usually $12.99 at the time of recording, but because of the summer sale, it's currently 10% off until the 5th of July. So, that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. And I'll see you next time.